Welcome back to Edit Manhwa channel. Today's video is about the strongest warrior MC in Fantasy Manhwa Part 2. Let's begin. In the manhwa standard of reincarnation, the protagonist Daphne Samion, known in his new life as Vincent Adinka, possesses a combination of skills inherited from his previous life and extraordinary physical abilities within his new body. Here are the details of his main strengths and abilities. Heavenly exoskeleton. This is the most prominent feature of his new body. While it was previously considered a disability, Daphne discovered it to be a unique skeletal structure that allows him to store mana in his bones instead of just his heart. This grants him the ability to use mana almost infinitely and significantly enhances his physical strength. Previous life experience and knowledge. Daphne retains all his combat skills and experiences as a prodigious fighter soldier from the Samion clan, where he previously outperformed everyone despite having only one arm. Advanced mana techniques. Imagery. Daphne utilizes advanced methods to control mana and activate the magic circuits within his body, enabling him to utilize the heavenly exoskeleton, which the original owner of the body failed to activate. Extraordinary senses and perceptual abilities. He possesses exceptional analytical, observational, and target tracking abilities, along with a murderous aura, which he uses to intimidate his opponents. System and traits. The hero interacts with a system of blessings and traits that can be developed to unlock additional combat and magical abilities at varying levels, low, medium, and high. The Samion family. The most powerful fighting family in the story, but also the primary source of the hero's tragedy. Family betrayal. Although Davin was a genius and surpassed the legitimate heirs of only one arm, he was betrayed by his family and parents, leading to his death in prison. Kagan Samion. One of the prominent members of the family at present, he possesses the sword god Kasak's blessing, granting him incredible swordsmanship skills. Other members. The family includes characters such as Khan, Railsa, Abel, and Dia. Main enemies. Kajin, the hero's archenemy from his previous life. A lazy, snobbish genius, he tortured and imprisoned Davin after Davin defeated him in a fight, causing him to starve to death. The manhwa hints that Kajin may have possessed the body of one of his descendants in the present day. Versa Helame. One of the main antagonists the protagonist faces. Merlin Falker. Another prominent enemy in the manhwa storyline. Pontaneous and Raven Vartican family. Hostile characters who appear later in the story. Adinka family. The family into which Davin is reborn as Finshin. Family status. The original Finshin was the seventh of 8 children and was treated like a punching bag, humiliated by his brothers and neglected father. Julian. The spirit of the original Finshin who sacrificed his body to Davin to become a minor deity. He is now Davin's companion and helps him with his spiritual power to maintain the body's stability. Initial abilities. Mana Core. In the early stages of the story, Arthur is a quadra-elemental mage capable of using all 4 elements, earth, water, fire, and wind. His abilities during this phase include Deviant elements, mastery over higher forms of elements, such as lightning, from fire/wind, and ice, from water. Mana rotation, a technique learned from his bond, Sylvia, allowing him to absorb ambient mana continuously to replenish his core during combat. Beast Will. Relhard Phase 1 and 2 gain from Sylvia. This grants enhanced physical abilities, and a form where his hair turns white and eyes lavender, allowing him to perceive and indirectly manipulate ambient mana using ether. Physical prowess. Due to training and the knowledge from his past life as King Gray, he is an expert swordsman and hand-to-hand combatant with exceptional perception and analytical prediction skills. Current abilities. Ether Core. After his mana core is shattered, Arthur reforms it into a unique ether core, making him the only one of his kind and fundamentally changing his power source. Ether is the fundamental essence of the world, governing time, space, and existence. His current ether-based powers include ether manipulation, general amplification of his physical strength, speed, durability, and senses. Etheric weaponry, the ability to conjure weapons made of condensed ether, such as daggers and swords, which can cut through most mana-imbued substances. God runes, God step. This ability, an advanced form of spatial manipulation, spatium, allows him to teleport almost instantly over short distances by stepping through etheric paths. God runes, Aroa's Requiem, a time-based ability, Evam, that allows him to reverse time on inorganic objects, effectively repairing them. God runes, destruction of volatile power, Vivam, that manifests as cold, purple flames that disintegrate anything they touch. This ability is extremely dangerous and can cause Arthur to lose control. In the manhwa, Wail of the Dragon's Rage, the protagonist Ananta possesses immense destructive power stemming from his lineage as one of the first 6 incarnates and an ancient curse. Here's a breakdown of his abilities. Dragon morphing. Ananta can transform parts of his body, particularly his arms, into a powerful black dragon. Brutal strength. When enraged, he transforms into a relentless brawling dragon, granting him superhuman strength that allows him to overpower numerous enemies. Curse of Ajidahaka. Ananta inherited powers, and a curse from an ancient black dragon named Ajidahaka, an evil dragon god associated with dark magic and destruction. Rage state. His power is tied to his psyche. Fits of rage unleash his latent abilities, but they constantly push him to the brink of madness and inhumanity. Connection to dark elements. His abilities are linked to the physiology of the black dragon, which often symbolizes chaos, destruction, and darkness. Ananta uses this power in his quest for revenge against the Wings Incarnate, a powerful deceiver who aspires to world domination. In the manhwa, the story of a low-ranked soldier becoming a monarch, or becoming the monarch. The story begins with Chris, a veteran mercenary soldier who lost his right hand in battle. After an unexpected incident in which he swallows an artifact, he is reborn as a 15-year-old with his body intact and his memories complete. The protagonist's strength and development depend on the following elements. 1. Regression knowledge. Chris uses his knowledge of future events to avert disasters and protect his friends who died in his previous life. He knows the locations of rare magical items and techniques that would make enemies incredibly powerful, so he either takes them for himself or prevents them from accessing them. 2. Sensible progression. Unlike other OP heroes who suddenly gain superhuman strength, Chris follows a gradual and logical path of development. He relies on talentless persistence and rigorous training, drawing on his past combat experience as a veteran mercenary. 3. Leadership and strategy. Monarch's path. His true strength lies in his ability to recruit powerful allies and build a loyal army. He possesses exceptional military strategic skills that allow him to intelligently lead his forces and transform the lands he controls into a prosperous kingdom. 4. Reaching the peak. Power peak. By the end of the story, Chris reaches the pinnacle of power in the world, surpassing even mythical creatures like dragons. The story transforms from simple earthly conflicts into epic confrontations with massive armies. Manhwa status. Completed with a total of 146 chapters. In the manhwa, The House Without Time, also known as The House of Time, the protagonist Aiden possesses immense godlike powers, but the nature of his strength is complex and evolves throughout the story. Godlike power. Aiden is described as possessing godlike power. At the beginning of the story, he lives in a blank, empty space and has the ability to manipulate reality within his surroundings. Creation and modification. He has the ability to create things or alter the properties of beings. For example, he changed the gender of a character from male to female using magic pills, justifying this by saying that modifying the body in this way is technically easier in this world. Conditional intervention. Despite his terrifying power, Aiden adheres to certain rules. He observes battles and only intervenes if one side surrenders or if he senses a genuine threat to the lives of the characters he cares about. Character development. The story begins with his appearance as a mysterious entity with white hair and continues to explore his past and his relationship with the outside world, where he later appears with a different appearance, black hair, in some parts or seasons. The manhwa focuses heavily on the mystery and psychological depth of its characters rather than being a traditional power fantasy, where power is presented as a result of hard work or mysterious circumstances, not simply an easy gift. With pleasure, here are more details about the evolution of Adele's powers in later seasons, especially Season 3, and the characters influenced by his training. The evolution of Adele's powers. In Season 3, Adele's powers transcend mere control of the white space to reach absolute divine levels. Realm of creation. His magic is no longer just energy, but the ability to alter the data of reality. He can create entire separate worlds containing stars and celestial bodies. Rule overriding. He has the ability to disregard the rules established in any world. For example, he was able to defeat the Demon King with a single blow, even though the latter was completely immune to magic. Time manipulation and immortality. He can reverse time within his sphere of influence, and those who enter his white space cannot die or age, the absence of randomness and decay. Character training. The apprentices. Adele is not just a fighter, but a teacher who develops the potential of those around him through harsh but effective methods. Sarah, the child Adele initially rescued. Under his guidance, she transforms from a weak and abused child into a fighter with unwavering willpower and physical and magical abilities that surpass ordinary humans. Physical transformation. As mentioned previously, Adele used his powers to alter the bodies of characters, such as the pink-haired character he transformed into a woman resembling his sister, not only as punishment or experiment, but also to facilitate their magical growth in this world. Training method. Adele relies on placing his students in life or death situations to force them to awaken their latent powers, depending on the fact that he can protect them at the last moment thanks to his absolute power.